Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And I continue with Alan Wake Blind. Let's exit the silver mine. I guess I'm going up, or am I? Like, I think the lookout, especially if it's called the Mirror Peak, is probably on the top. Okay, there's at least a page here. Oh, so I guess that might be the peak. Let's look at the first, though. I mean, the page first, though. Thor hits Nurse Sinclair.
Lightning flashed behind the windows of Cauldron Lake Lodge. Tor Anderson laughed and held the steel hammer above his head. Nurse Sinclair was trying to calm him down without success. Tor grinned madly and shouted, "My hammer's up. Here's a friendly poke from Molnir, wench." He brought the hammer down with all his might on Sinclair's head. "We're on a comeback tour, baby."
What? I'm not sure what this is about, but it's apparently about a guy named Thor killing people with his hammer. Like, I'm not sure what does it even have to do with the rest of the game so far, but I guess maybe I will learn that, because it supposedly tells me about events that have not yet happened. Which is the entire point of this manuscript gimmick.
Oh, great. Another cable car. Just great.
This one is even more dilapidated than the last one. Okay. I guess I should be glad I survived that. I'm really not sure what the darkness has against trees, but it has to be something.
Shit.
Like it clearly dislikes trees to an unreasonable degree. I'm not sure who's been going around making those little pyramids out of soda cans, or are they beer cans? But I must admit, it is at least a little bit amusing for me. Cauldron Lake. The 8th deepest lake in the world, Cauldron Lake is a caldera lake formed in a volcanic crater. The volcano itself could be considered to be active, but it has not erupted since the volcanic earthquakes of 1970, and even then the underground activity was comparatively mild. Despite some property damage, there were no casualties. Cauldron Lake is one of the most beautiful spots in the Bright Falls area, as well as a central figure in many local folk tales. It is a popular recreational area for the area residents. Oh, wait, actually, it has just dawned on me. It is called Cauldron Lake, right? Like a witch's cauldron. And the island on it was... the hut, the cabin on it was called Bird Leg's Cabin. So, like a cabin on a bird's leg, as in, a stereotypical witch's cabin, like on a chicken leg hut, as it were, of Baba Yagas or something. So I wonder if that's if that kind of thought pattern leads anywhere, and if anything will come out of this. But surely it's not a coincidence with the naming. Okay, I have like a bajillion of those flares, so might as well use them. Actually, I haven't considered as how impressive it is for Alan Wake to fire like rifles and shotguns one-handed. I myself have never used a firearm. As I said, it's not particularly popular. Like, there are shooting ranges in Poland, but there isn't, and you can go there and recreationally shoot some weapons, but there isn't much of a weapon culture, like gun owners culture in Poland. So I feel like most people aren't particularly interested in that, and I've never been myself. But I imagine a kickback from like a shotgun is to be pretty significant, right? Mod at Cauldron Lake.
Maud had checked all of Stucky's rental cabins. There had been no sign of the wakes. It was dark when he'd found their car parked at the end of the road by Cauldron Lake. It made no sense. They must have taken a wrong turn, but there was no sign of them, and the car had been there for hours already. Frustrated, Mott stood on the rotten ruin of the footbridge that had once led to Diver's Isle before it sank beneath the waves years ago. The boss wouldn't be happy.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting, how Alan Wake and his wife spent a day in a cabin that supposedly doesn't even exist and didn't exist for the last 30 years. That's a pretty creepy building. Cross the mountain ruins. Tom. I miss you, Tom. Tom Zane? Are those messages from... Yeah. Wait. No, that's not from Barbara. That's Cynthia Weaver or something? That's the crazy woman, right? The one that was obsessed with Talk to Me on TV with the light. And I guess it might make sense for her to write it in a light-sensitive print, because obviously she herself is obsessed with the light. I miss you, Tom. Did you write this? Oh, wait. Wait, didn't she write it? Like, I'm kind of confused. It's pretty clear from this that she wrote this, but the handwriting seems to be all the same. So how can she be asking if he wrote it, if she wrote it herself? Like, doesn't make much sense to me, but what do I know? Yeah, that has to be Thomas Zane, and this is the Cynthia Weaver, I think, or something starting with a W. I'm using so many flares just because I have so many of them. So I might as well use them. Okay. Hopefully I'll get to a checkpoint soonish enough. I wouldn't like to repeat that fight. Okay, so this is the other side of the gate from before.
I could see Cauldron Lake. I thought I could make out the spot where the island and the cabin had been. There was a light near it. It had to be a boat. I was close now. I had to get there fast. I dreaded what I would find.
Wake wakes up in the lodge.
I tried to hold on to Alice, but her form melted away. I was losing control. Dr. Hartman stood in her place. I wanted to hit him, but my arms were jelly. He smiled. It was a reassuring smile, and I hated him for it. I had to give you a sedative. Don't fight it. You went through another rough period. Right now, it's very important that you stay calm. We don't want you to have another episode. You're a patient at my clinic. Have been for a while now.
Wait! Are you? Wait!
Hey, I'm here! I'm coming!
No! Get away! I'm sorry. Please, lady. The boss didn't know who he was messing with. I didn't know. I swear, I didn't know. We don't have his wife. We don't know where she is. She's probably drowned. We just said we had her to make him play ball. You see? To get him writing for us. Please. Please. Oh. I'm sorry. Please don't hurt me. Ah! Ah!
Is that Barbara Jagger? Because obviously she wanted to meet Alan Wake's wife.
With the drunk midwife, who's that yonder hole in flames, dragging behind him a sack of chains? Who's that yonder hole in flames? Well, up jumped the devil and he staked his claim on me. Start, doomed to play the villain's part. I was the baddest Johnny in the apple cart. My blood was blacker than the chambers of a dead nun's heart. Who's that milling around the courthouse steps? Nail on my face to the hitching fence. Who's that milling around the courthouse steps? Up jumped the devil and off we crept. Oh no, where could I go with my hump of trouble and my sack of woe? To the digs and the deserts of Mexico, where my neck was safer from the lynching rope. Who's that yonder laughing at me like I was the brunt of some hilarity? Who's that yonder laughing at me? Well, up jumped the devil, 1, 2, 3.
Previously on Alan Wake, I'm hunted by the law.
Sheriff, Wake's running. I'm giving chase.
Are you seriously telling me that writer just took out my deputies?
A thriller I supposedly wrote is coming true. The genre of the story seems to be shifting. It's turning into a horror story. I was told that Alice had been kidnapped, but that was a lie.
We don't have his wife. We don't know where she is.
Her purported kidnapper was eaten up by the dark presence before it attacked me.
Alan, shh, baby. It was just a nightmare.
Alice.
There you go, Alan.
Hartman. I fell.
I had to give you a sedative. Don't fight it. You went through another rough period.
What?
Right now, it's very important that you stay calm. We don't want you to have another episode. You're a patient at my clinic. Have been for a while now. The shock of your wife's death triggered a mental illness.
No, you lie.
You're suffering from various symptoms of undifferentiated schizophrenia.
Bastard.
It's okay, Alan. Just let go.
I felt groggy. Whatever Hartman had bumped in me was making me numb. I felt like this was happening to someone else. Someone I was watching on television. I couldn't think. Couldn't focus. There were only empty sheets of paper here. No manuscript pages. The door was locked. I was a prisoner here.
Good evening, Alan. Are we feeling better now? Feeling calm?
Yeah, I see you brought your pet gorilla with you. So sure, I'm calm. I get the message, loud and clear.
Quite right. That's the spirit. You're being very brave, Alan. I understand you're confused. I would be more concerned if you weren't suspicious of me. I don't blame you for it.
Big of you.
Now, why don't you come with me? We'll reacquaint you with my clinic and go over everything you might have forgotten. Little walk and some fresh air? Yes, it will do you good. This corridor is for patients. Most of them aren't here right now. Jack took them out for a fishing trip, except for the ones who are particularly vulnerable, of course. I encourage creativity as a part of the recovery process here at Cauldron Lake Lodge. I specialize in treating artists.
I bet you do.
Splendid, Alan. I honestly believe we can get this thing under control if we work together. This
So
way, Alan.
they're like pieces of canvas and paint, because presumably there's a painter living here. I got a typewriter because I'm a writer. Night Springs, the video game. Okay, so this guy is, I don't know, a let's player, because he has a console, has a game, and TV, and like maps, presumably from the game, to help him progress or something. Not sure. And this seems to be some kind of a board game. Death Rally. Yeah, it's very clearly a gamer of some sorts. Wake. Creator's Dilemma. The engaging new book by Emil Hartman, PhD, the author of the best-selling Creative Flow, his groundbreaking techniques, engagement therapy, and the flow, explained in his own words. Now available in bookstores across the country. Okay. Well, let's follow him. Although actually first Anderson. Let's check if I can go into any of the other rooms. Not really. Although the weather's quite nice outside.
Now, Alan, from past experience with you, I know I need to get right into the heart of the matter as quickly as I can after an episode. So I'm just going to say this. Alice is dead.
No.
You're in a very vulnerable state until you understand and accept this. Alice drowned, and you couldn't face that. You're suffering from hallucinations, paranoid delusions, unusual thinking, an obsession about light and darkness, a feeling that everything revolves around you, your thoughts and dreams. Your mind has constructed an elaborate fantasy scenario in which your writings are affecting reality. She has been kidnapped, and supernatural forces of darkness are trying to stop you.
Well, is this going to be one of those "it was all a dream" situations?
We go this way, Alan.
I wasn't ready for another shot, so I went along with it. He had to be lying. But under the influence of the drug he had given me, I had to fight not to believe his words.
It's all in your head. You've been making it up. Apart from the tragic accident with your wife, no one has been killed. Your delusions are just a manifestation of your subconscious mind trying to protect you from the too painful truth. Unless we fight the fantasy, it will return. I know the instinct is to resist me, but think about it. Doesn't this make far more sense than the insane supernatural conspiracy you have concocted in your mind? You're a skeptic by nature, Alan. We both know this. Everything can be explained logically.
Is that a sundial? Beyond the shadow you settle for, there's a miracle illuminated TZ. So that's Tom Zane, in the memory of a dear friend and a poet. I guess it is a sundial. Cauldron Lake Lodge, 1912. In tenebras, cadere. Well, in darkness, something. Tenebris is something to do with darkness, I think, in Latin. And this would be, I think, a verb, but I unfortunately don't know what that means. I'm going to check that. And put it in the description. It has something to do with the darkness, but I don't know exactly. Let me check the staircase, just to be sure. Like I'm 90% certain it's going to be locked, but still. Yeah.
I never get tired of this view. Very inspiring, isn't it?
Cauldron Lake spread below us. I could see Mirror Peak on the other side of the lake. I thought I could make out the spot where Diver's Isle had been when I arrived with Alice. Now there was nothing but waves.
It seems there's a storm coming. Funny, I don't recall there being a mention of that in the weather forecast. Well, no matter. This way. Follow me. Alan, what I'm telling you is good news. Right now we're in control. Every time you have a relapse, it gets more and more difficult to resurface from the dark depths of your imagination. Not surprising, considering your profession. Imagination is what you work with. After all your nightmares, this should come as an immense relief to you. If it doesn't, why is that? Because I'm lying? Or because you don't want to admit that you're not well? It's very natural for you to think of me as your enemy. It's part of the illness.
I let him talk.
After all,
Hartman
I'm the one
obviously
trying
loved
to
his
bring
own
you
voice.
out of the
His
world
words
you've
echoed
constructed for
madly
yourself.
inside my head.
But I can't
I dug my
do it
nails
by
into the
myself.
palms of my hands to stay
You
focused.
need to work with me. Once you accept that, we can begin the journey towards your recovery. Come along. Let's go inside.
There was something about a nurse getting killed.
Here's the entrance to the office wing. That's for staff only. You were impressed by my trophies when you first arrived here. I do love to hunt. The great outdoors, man versus nature. It's wonderful stuff.
Pretty damn wonderful, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I got you. Got
Emerson.
you good. I'm a real bad dream, mister. You should be afraid of me. Don't want to run into me in the night, that's for sure.
Please, Emerson. Mr. Wake is confused enough as it is.
Yeah, you'd like me to go away so you won't be scared. But you can't just decide what kind of dream you have or when you have it.
Emerson.
Okay. Sorry. Boo.
That's Emerson. We're actually making some progress with him, I'm happy to say. He works on Video
Elbow
games.
strike. Ooh,
It's
yeah.
trash, of course, but it does involve
Get
some
him to the head.
small creative effort, which makes him receptive to my therapeutic methods.
No kidding.
Oh, so he's a game developer. I guess that makes more sense. I don't actually want to follow him yet. Okay, she has nothing to say.
Alan, please, this way.
Again with the QR codes. Again, if it leads anywhere, if it is a real QR code, I'm going to post it in a timestamp in the description if I find anything after recording this. Okay, can't watch TV yet. I can, however, steal people's coffee. Which seems to be Alan Wake's favorite pastime.
Hartman had mentioned that the power had been acting up. Maybe that was the reason for the generator and the work light on the balcony. The generator hadn't been activated, and there was no key.
Okay, nothing to say.
Come, Alan, this way.
I guess she has nothing to say either. More coffee. Some books on the shelf which, from the looks of it, seem to repeat from the ones that Alan Wake himself had in his home. So not particularly fascinating.
Oh, hello. I've painted you.
Okay.
I was just struck by inspiration a couple of days ago. Dr. Hartman wanted me to paint landscapes, and that's what I was doing. But now I've been doing these things, a lot of them. The images just keep coming. Dr. Hartman likes them. He has them in his office.
Yeah?
He's very proud of me. He says I'm getting much better. I think I'm getting better.
Wait, is that me? Like, that doesn't really look...
Well, I guess I'd better start wrapping this up. The storm is almost here. Look at that. I'd hate to be out there tonight.
That doesn't look like me at all, to be honest. So I guess that's where Hartman went, because that's his, like, orderly... Oh, that's actually even exactly him. Oh, and those are the two brothers from the diner? The old guys? I didn't think they would be living here. Oh well. But, regardless, I feel like this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to pause it here. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.